Moin, I'm Catherine, and today I'm in bed with my favorite books of the month of December because I'm still very much behind on my wrap-ups, but I'm getting there. In December, I've read and listened to 9 books all in all, and a lot of them will be in this wrap-up. As if you sometimes watch my videos, you will know I mostly talk about the books I liked, and a lot of those made it into the wrap-up, which is a very good thing. And I'm still pretty happy about those 9 books because technically December stopped at the 23rd for me because of Christmas and family. And then, as every year over the past few years, I've spent the 27th till the 31st or the 30th. What is it? 31st at the Chaos Communication Congress in Hamburg, which is a hacker congress. And yeah, so I'm still very happy about those 9 books. And one of them was a little live, which is over 1,000 pages. At least the audiobook was over 33 hours. So yeah, 9 books, pretty good. Speaking about the Chaos Communication Congress, I had a very interesting conversation with someone about those annoying vegetarians or vegans that will not eat food if you use the same spoon for the meat dish and the vegetarian dish. And I tried to explain why I am one of those annoying vegetarians, vegans, who would not touch food if I know, and please don't do this, Jimmy, that you use the same spoon for the meat and for my dish. And then I told this to a friend, and she's very, very good at coming up with clever answers to those dilemmas. And her answer was, and this is a tip, if you are a vegetarian or a vegan and you're confronted with something like this, ask that person if they would eat something. Just imagine you have cannibalistic friends and you're invited at their house and they just used the spoon for the human meat and then they went and used the spoon for your dish. If you would eat that after it touched the human meat, just imagine that, because I wouldn't. So I've listened to almost all of the novels in December, and I haven't gone on another used book spree yet, so I don't have physical copies of those novels. The first one is still Ellis by Lisa Genova. It's about a woman who is diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's and how she deals with the illness, how her family deals with the illness. It's very much about a mother-daughter relationship. You may know this from the movie with Julianne Moore. And the only thing that bugged me was the ending, something specific about the ending. And I didn't quite buy the ending, but I can't tell you anything more because that would spoil the ending. But aside from this, I thought it was a very, very good novel. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next one is Panikherz by Benjamin von Stuckrad-Barre, which I actually read, like in red. I totally liked this novel. It's autobiographical about Benjamin von Stuckrad-Barre's struggle with drugs and what music meant for his life. So it's those both things, the pop structure and the drugs. And on a pop historical line, I found it very interesting. And for me, the struggle with drugs just confirmed my not taking drugs. And it's about his bulimia, which I found very interesting because you not very often hear about boys being bulimic. So this was very interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's out in English yet, but if it is, or if you're German and you can get a hand on this, I highly recommend Panikherz by Benjamin von Stuckrad-Barre. The next novel I listened to, as I mentioned, is The 33 Hours of a Little Life, and I don't regret any minute of it, although there were parts where I wished I had read it. I think this is actually, I love listening to audiobooks, but I think this is actually a novel that is better read than listened to, because there were a few passages where I really hoped I could read fastly through them because they were so bad. Not bad in bad written, but bad in bad things happening. It's about a man who's was being abused as a boy and his lifelong struggle with accepting love, being able to love, accepting help from others, and getting rid or never getting rid of the feeling that it's his fault what happened to him. It's a very hard story. I seldom give out trigger stories, or I have never given out a trigger story for a novel before, but if you have trouble with abuse stories, this is not for you. Otherwise, it's so intense and beautifully written. Over those, I think, over 1,000 pages. I seldom give out 5 stars for novels, but this is a total 5-star read. The next one is So You've Been Publicly Shamed by John Ronson, who is a journalist who also writes novels. And it's about a few incidents where people have been publicly shamed on the internet and how they dealt with it or didn't deal with it at all, what it does to the people, what kind of people do this to other people, and about how we, and I include myself, how the scissor in our brain that keeps asking yourself before you post something on the internet, if you should do this, how you should do this, gets bigger and bigger, because there are always people out there who will, if they want to do you harm, take every stupid word that you utter and make it into something big and hurtful and hateful. And that's a real problem, especially if you have a YouTube channel and you say things about stupid novels or actors you don't like, or you always have in the back, oh, I could hurt someone with that. Someone could be annoyed by me saying that, and that's just stupid, because I think I can have my own opinion and I can think that things are stupid, but you're always afraid of someone coming around the corner and telling you that you're stupid because you think that's stupid. And yeah, so basically, this is a very good novel to get into thinking, or not novel, book, to get you into thinking about those things. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next one I listened to is Huntress by Melinda Lo, which is the backstory to another novel of hers called Ash, which is a Cinderella retelling that I didn't like that much. It was okay, but it wasn't more for me. I very much like the backstory. It has 2 strong female characters who fall in love with each other. I'm not sure about the ending or the whole meaning of the book, but I still liked it. It had a nice fantasy setting. I liked the characters. I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last one that made it into the wrap-up is Tell Me Again How a Crush Should Feel by Sara, Farizan, which I already think is such a clever title. Tell Me Again How a Crush Should Feel. Absolutely brilliant. And it's about this girl who has to realize that she's fallen in love with a shitty person, and how hard it is to, for the first time, truly fall in love with someone and then realize that you've just been treated badly. And I like the element that during the time she's in love with that other shitty girl, she also treats her friends quite badly, and how during the novel she realizes this and has to own up to this and owns up to this. I found this very brilliantly in this novel. And I also liked how she played with presumptions, like you have, for example, the popular girl and what you assume about this popular girl, and then how she really turns out to be. So it's a YA coming out story, very cleverly written with nice elements that I highly, highly recommend. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Let me know if you read any of those books, what you thought about them. Let's discuss it in the comments. And until then, don't forget, support your local book dealer. Hi, I'm in bed with Wakey. Today, as we just talked about you at the Reeperbahn Festival, today
Yes.
we are talking about a book.
I love that.
It's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline.